So we have replaced the O2 sensor. Now I'm going to, let me turn the key on first. We're gonna start the engine. Okay, so key is on. Okay, so we have our voltages on the lab scope. One thing I noticed is the voltage on the yellow trace went down to 0.28 volt. I don't know if that makes a difference, but let's see. So I'm gonna graph the second O2 sensor. It's still stuck at 0, right now. Let's bring up our scope. Okay, so now let's start the engine. We might have to take this car for a test drive. We still have 0 on the scan tool. It's odd. Did we make a bad call? Maybe it didn't need a sensor. Okay. I'm not gonna say that yet. Let's go. Okay. So the engine is running and our fuel pressure gauge is at 45 psi. Let's look at our fuel trim numbers. Okay, so long term right now is at so our fuel trim numbers are still high. Okay. Okay, the O2 sensor is still stuck at 0. Very odd. Now, do we have clogged injectors? Maybe. We might have to take this for a test drive. Actually, let's go back on the OE side of the scan tool. Actually. Interesting. Very odd. So there's one more test I want to do. Let's go to functional test. Let's see if we can turn on these injectors. Okay, fuel cutoff 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we can turn on the injectors. Let's see. So I'm going to have my pressure gauge here. Pressure gauge is at 40 psi. I don't know if you guys can see this. We're gonna turn on the injector. Let me back out. Let me start the engine. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this fuel cut test. So I believe it's gonna turn off the injector, and then we're gonna look at our gauge here to see if the gauge is going to either drop or rise. And then we're also going to listen to the engine RPM to see if the engine RPM is going to change when we do that. Because at this point, guys, I don't see what else that can cause this, because I mean, we have good fuel pressure. Our mass airflow sensor is, our mass airflow sensor is good. Let me start the engine. Let's see if doing the fuel cutoff thing is going to make a difference. Okay. I can keep this thing running. All right, so what test can I do now? Okay, so my snap-on scan tool is about to die. I'm gonna switch scan tools. I'm going to get my RTL scan tool connected to the vehicle. What the test I want to do now is I would like to use my RTL scan tool to see if the RTL scan tool is going to be able to turn on the injectors while the engine is off. Because what I want to do is I want to watch our pressure, our fuel pressure on the gauge, and then turn on the injectors. As we turn on the injectors, our pressure in the rail should drop. So if we have a leaking injector or a partially clogged injector, when we turn it on, the pressure in the rail is now going to drop compared to the others. So the pressure drop won't be pronounced. It's not going to be low enough. That will indicate a partially clogged injector. Because at this point, you know, I mean, right now we changed the sensor. Our sensor is still stuck at 0, 0. So I want to take this on a test drive, but I also want to check the injectors. The other thing that can cause this could be partially clogged injectors. So I'm going to get these test leads out of the way. I'm going to reconnect. I'm going to reroute the sensor wiring properly. I'm not going to show that on camera. I'm going to get my RTL scan tool connected to the vehicle. We might have to take this on a test drive to see what happens. So I'll get that connected and then I'll bring you guys back up. I have the RTL scan tool connected to the vehicle. So now I was actually talking to cameraman Kyler off camera. I was like, so if I was wrong about that sensor, then who's gonna pay for the sensor? Okay, now we're gonna go on a test drive. If I was wrong about the sensor, we're not gonna charge the customer. That's gonna be my bad. It's gonna be my fault. I'll have to eat that. We're not gonna charge the customer about that. We have to get to the point of this. Right now, I'm starting to lean towards partially clogged injectors, but we're not just gonna, throw injectors at this. We have to do as many tests as we can to be 100% sure that might be, that's the issue. Okay, so let's scan this first and see what we got. I kind of want to test drive this while I have my pressure gauge connected to the fuel system. I mean, if our fuel trim numbers were just getting worse at high RPMs, I was gonna lean towards a bad fuel pump. But right now, our fuel pressure on the gauge is good, even while we're sitting here at idle, and our fuel trim numbers are bad also at idle. So that O2 sensor kind of threw me off for a loop there. Okay, so let's go into the engine computer. Let's go to data. Actually, before we do that, let's go to active tests first. So we cannot turn on these injectors. Let's go to special functions. So O2 sensor / oxygen sensor operation. Interesting. What do we have there? Faster detection of the part failure. Inline cylinder. Oh, so this just gives us O2 sensor data pins. Okay, so I have my O2 sensor PIDs. I got fuel trim numbers, O2 sensors. So let's go on a test drive. Okay, I can't turn these injectors on. Okay, let's go. Let's drive this around. We're gonna have our scan tool up. I'm gonna try, let me see if I can keep this pressure gauge over here. Let's see, can I have this here? Now, this is a little dangerous, we gotta be careful. We don't want fuel leaking out while we're driving. There's one more thing I wanna do. Before we go on a test drive, I would like to clean our mass airflow sensor. So I'm gonna get our mass airflow sensor disconnected, and then we're gonna clean it. I mean, I don't think the mass airflow sensor is the issue here, but it's not gonna hurt to clean it. Okay. Let me grab a light. So let's see over here. So the resistors on the mass airflow sensor look clean. We're gonna use mass airflow sensor cleaner. So we got the mass airflow sensor cleaned. I'm gonna dry it and then we will install it. All right, so we got the mass airflow sensor dried up. So now I'm gonna reconnect it and then we're gonna reinstall it right there. Okay, I'm gonna check the air filter while we're here, because if we have, no, air filter is fine. It's a little dirty, but nothing too bad. Nothing too crazy. Air filter is fine. Okay, this is the wire for the wiper motor. We're just gonna keep this right here while we're test driving. Okay. Cool. So now we cleaned the mass airflow sensor. Let's take this for a spin. All right. So our pressure, fuel pressure is still at 45 psi, so we're good there. So our fuel trim numbers are still high. And then O2 sensor, man, this sensor is still stuck at 0. That's odd. Very weird. Okay, we are in closed loop. We still have high positive numbers. That's very odd. I don't know. If there's a Prius expert out there, let us know about this second O2 sensor. What causes the second O2 sensor to be stuck at 0? Very weird. So as we are driving right now, our fuel... Oh, the O2 sensor is now working. So you guys will see this on the screen. Okay, I guess the vehicle has to be driven for the O2 sensor to work. So right now as we are driving, our fuel trim numbers right now are normal. Although we are slightly high. Yeah, we're still slightly high. Okay, so right now we are pegged rich on the O2 sensor. Okay, we are showing 0.8 volt on the O2 sensor, which tells me that our fuel delivery is most likely good. So I'm going to turn around here. We don't have to go far. Let's go back to the shop. Okay, so right now, long term is 21%, short term is 0. Huh. So our fuel trim numbers got better. Right now, total trim is about 10%. But remember, the code didn't set while the vehicle was being driven. The code set just right above idle. So yeah, mass effluent sensor is also doing fine. This is weird. Very odd. Okay, let's go back to the shop. I want to watch these numbers again at idle. Yeah, look, we have 20% on the long term. That's too much. I mean, we are in open loop. Very odd. Let me start the engine. Let's see, let's get the engine running. Okay, our O2 sensor is now working. The O2 sensor is working, but our fuel trim numbers are still high. We still have high positive fuel trim numbers. Now, at this point, I only have two things left. It's either we have fuel injectors that are not spraying enough fuel in the cylinders at idle, or we may have a stuck open purge valve, because a defective purge valve can cause this too. Yeah, as soon as we go in closed loop, our fuel trim numbers starts going up. Okay, let me turn off the engine. Let's go under the hood. Okay, let's go under the hood and check the purge valve. Now I'm going to plug the line that goes to the evap purge valve. So Kyler, if you can show this line over here. So this line is connected to this hose. So this is the evap line that comes from the back of the vehicle. So it goes down under the air filter box. It's connected to the purge valve. You guys won't see it, but it's down there. Okay, so just look at this line. This is our line that goes to the purge valve. So now I'm gonna disconnect it. I'm gonna block it with this old spark plug that I have over here. Okay, so if we have a stuck open purge valve that's causing a lean condition, the fact that I blocked this, our fuel trim numbers should get better. So right now we are plugging the line that goes to the purge valve. So since I plugged this, let's go back in the vehicle and start the engine and see if our fuel trim numbers will get better. Let's see if our fuel trim numbers will now get better. And if they do, I'll be so mad. Because of all the time I've wasted. It happens. Because if that doesn't help, then it's gonna be the injectors, because I don't see what else. I don't see what else that can cause that. Interesting. Let's see. We got our fuel trim numbers. Okay. Now I'm gonna start the engine. Okay, so we have high. Okay. Oh, our numbers are going down. It's fixed. It was the purge valve. The purge valve is stuck open. I mean, you guys will see this. Yeah. Stuck open purge valve. Because right now our total trim is 4%. Dang, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that? It's the freaking O2 sensor. The O2 sensor threw me off because I saw the O2 sensor was stuck at 0. It threw me off. I mean, hey, we live and learn. I mean, this is a lesson for me. I guess on Priuses, the O2 sensor being stuck at 0 for a little while the engine is running is fine. I mean, the second O2 sensor. Because, and for some reason, I don't know, Kyler, if you can notice, the engine is idling even for a little longer now. I don't know if that has anything to do with what we did. Let me bring my O2 sensor data PID here. Let me find my O2 sensor PID, especially the sensor after the catalytic converter. Okay, the engine just died. Let me find the O2 sensor PID first. So our fuel trim numbers got better. I'm gonna graph the second O2 sensor voltage PID right here. So let's get the engine to start. I mean, the O2 sensor is working now. I don't know. I mean, maybe the old one was kind of bad to the point where it was taking too long to read. I mean, right now we have 0.78 volt on the second O2 sensor. The other one was just being stuck at 0. Our fuel trim numbers got better. Yeah, look at that. Now, we replaced the O2 sensor. We cleaned the mass airflow sensor. Our trim numbers didn't get better. But after I plugged the evap purge valve tube, then our fuel trim numbers got down. So this really tells me that we have a stuck open purge valve. And also, oh man, now that I'm thinking, actually the telltale sign of this, man, now that I'm thinking back, I feel so bad. I just wasted a lot of time. Because remember, we had the evap code and we also had the lean code. So that over there was a telltale sign of a freaking stuck open purge valve. Ah, man, I feel bad. You know what? We're gonna upload the whole thing. You guys will learn from my mistake. You know, I hope you don't make this mistake. I mean, I know this. I don't know why I freaking wasted time. Because after I saw the evap code, the first thing I should have checked the evap purge valve first. Man, we're done. We're done. I feel like an idiot right now. I should have figured this out 5 minutes after we first scanned this morning. Okay, at least we know. Yeah, because we had the evap code. Let's see, let's go back to codes. Man. Man, I feel we just wasted a lot of time. Yeah, see, we have evap codes. We have P0441 and P0455. Evap control system purge flow incorrect. Yeah, so the purge valve is stuck open. So, and I've said this in actually the video I'm thinking about. It's a video Matt and I did a while back. It was on a Ford, I think it was a Ford Focus. The evap, was it Ford Focus or Ford Fusion? The evap purge valve was stuck open and it was causing evap codes and lean codes. Same thing here. Dang, I know this. Okay. Well. Okay. All right, yeah, we gotta change the purge valve. The fact that I blocked the purge valve and our fuel trim numbers got better, this tells me that we're good. Okay, I'm gonna replace the purge valve. I'm not gonna make the customer pay for the O2 sensor. That's my bad. It's my mistake. I'm gonna eat that. Customer is not gonna pay for that. Customer will just pay for the purge valve. Now, we also have to check the wiring of the purge valve. I'm gonna get another purge valve. Once we get the purge valve, we're gonna check the wiring of the purge valve and then we will replace it. So let's go back under the hood.